and welcome back to 40 Days of Prayer. Today is day 35, and today is the last day of our week of talking about prayer extinguishers. The last thing I want to mention this week is that grumbling can extinguish your prayers. If you look at 1 Corinthians chapter 10, it's actually an amazing passage. Paul says, "I don't want you to be ignorant of the fact, brothers, that our forefathers were all under the cloud." That means that there was a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night that they would follow in the wilderness. So they were pretty privileged people to have that happen to them. They all passed through the sea. They got to see God's miraculous power in parting the Red Sea. They were all baptized into Moses and into the cloud. They all ate the same spiritual food. That means that manna fell down from heaven every day and God provided for them. It says, and they drank the same spiritual drink. And the rock they drank from was Christ. So they drank water from a rock. Christ was accompanying them in this journey across the wilderness. But look at what he says. Nevertheless, God was not pleased with most of them. Okay, so God's not pleased. What could happen? Their bodies were scattered all over the desert. Whoa! Like, hold on a second. It's that big a deal? What did they do? Well, they were idolaters. We talked about that yesterday. They were sexually immoral. He talks about that. But in verse 10, it says, and do not grumble, as some of them did, and were killed by the destroying angel. So they were grumbling, and God let their bodies be scattered all over the desert because they were grumbling. Incredible. What were they grumbling about? They were grumbling about what God had provided for them, the manna. They're like, man, we're sick of it. We miss the leeks and the garlics from Egypt. Imagine that kind of attitude when God provides for them. However, we do the very same thing. God provides you a place to live, a car. He provides you, food. And still we're like, man, wish I had better food. Wish I could afford to go to that restaurant. Wish I had a better house. Wish I had more money to pay for my house payment so I had money to do other things I want to do. Like go shopping. We grumble. And God hates it. He hates complaining. And so today, I want to show you how you can learn how to stop grumbling. Number one, you've got to learn contentment. 1 Timothy chapter 6 says this, verse 6, but godliness with contentment is great gain. It's great gain not to make a lot of money. It's great gain not to have a successful business with, perpetuity in your income, or multiple streams of income, or whatever the gurus are talking about. That's not it. Contentment and being godly is great gain. He says, for we brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it. You're not going to take your 401k to heaven, so stop worrying about it. Turn off MSNBC or CNBC or whatever ticker you're watching to worry about your future. Your future's in God's hands, and you're going to take none of it with you. He says this, if we have food and clothing, we will be content with that. We need to be content with the basic necessities of life. Because you know what? You've got Jesus, and He's all that you need. So first, you need to learn contentment if you're going to stop grumbling. Secondly, you need to learn to be thankful. We've talked about that a little bit during 40 Days of Prayer. We've talked about Psalm 100 in verse 4, where he says, enter His gates with thanksgiving and His courts with praise. Give thanks to Him and praise His name. When you begin your prayer, start by gratitude. Gratitude for who God is and what He's done. We hallow His name, as we talked about in the Lord's Prayer, and we're also grateful for what He has done, what our Father has given to us. List off 10, 15 things every day when you wake up. Lord, thank you for sunlight. Thank you for waking me up this morning and I'm not dead. Thank you that I'm, have this wonderful family. Thank you that I'm part of your greater family, the family of God. And begin to be grateful for the things God has given to you. Last, learn to give. Nothing will break the hold of selfishness and grumbling like giving. It is almost impossible to give and to be ungrateful and grumble at the same time. The Bible teaches that if we see a brother who's in need and you don't give them what they need, you might as well have any faith at all. So look around today and look around at the needs around you and see what you can do to meet those needs. You can't meet all the needs, but there are some needs that you can meet. And this will break the back of grumbling in your life. Well, this is the last of our prayer extinguishers. Next week, we're going to look at time and prayer. God bless you and have a great day.